that doesn't stop the show. I think you should know that, baby, you're the reason. You always think the only one who...
Hey guys, it's me Zion. Today we're back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys are returning, welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a sit down, as you've seen by the title, talking about different ways to help down there if you're having like smell problems, or it's not smelling so great, or if you just don't know because you've never been taught things about down there. Your girl is coming from a place where I was told very minimal things, so a lot of the things that I'm telling you guys are things that I've learned. So everything is just from what I've learned, so everything is not 100% like, oh, she's a doctor, she knows everything. No, I know what I know what I've taught myself, I know what I've researched. So I just want to bring this video to you guys because I like bringing different content like this. And let me know if you guys want to see more content like helping you like figure out life. I'm noticing that I'm at a point in my life where I'm figuring out a lot by myself. I've been doing this since like 18 on my own, even before that, but in terms of like figuring out life. So let me know if you like these videos, like moving out, other health videos, feminine hygiene videos, shower routines. What I want to say is I'm not a doctor, disclaimer, I said that first. But second, what I want to say is you definitely need to get yourself an OBGYN. Most people should have insurance, so most of the time it does cover the cost of everything. Sometimes you have to pay a difference. I've never had to pay a difference. I usually just pay nothing. The company pays for it because that's the type of insurance I have. What they'll cover and what they won't cover. Usually at the place that you go to, they'll let you know what they won't cover. Like if you're trying to get 3 appointments a year and they only cover 1, they'll usually let you know. So first things first, everyone has a natural smell, and this is not a smell that should be like, oh my god, like what the heck is that? It should be like, oh, that's, and some people it might be, smells different, smells interesting, but not in a way that's like ew. A way that's like, oh, that's me, that's my smell, you know. And most of the time you're probably accustomed to it at this point, and it's just, I don't want to make it like it's a smell that's not normal. It's a smell that just smells like her. If up, I would say to let her breathe at night. Basically go commando. Basically at night after you go out the shower and do your shower routine, just let her go. Just put on a big gown. Y'all probably seen half my vlogs. I be trying not to wear it on the vlogs because it's not cute, but I usually wear like a big old Walmart $3 dress that I found on sale, put on and call it a night. No bra, no underwear, just that dress, or just like a sleepwear set, and letting her breathe because she's been usually closed up in jeans and clothing all day. So imagine like if your armpits was squished with like a sweater all day long and then you wear a sweater to bed. So something like that, just letting it breathe, letting it air out. Next up, I would suggest you waxing. Overshaving, I've stopped shaving a long time ago, but I suggest waxing, even though it could be a little painful because hair can hold sweat. You usually shave your armpits for what reason? Because if you have a lot of hair, you may be sweating excessively. That also creates a must. So therefore, it's the same down there. It's a closed up area, it's hairy. It can do the same thing your armpit is doing. You wear deodorant on your armpit because it can cause smells. That'll be my next tip. But in terms of the hair down there could be making a smell, so try waxing. If you can't afford waxes, then just shave. Just find the best routine with shaving if that's the option you're going to choose, because you want to reduce hair bumps. I think ingrown hairs are the worst things with shaving, so I just would say find a good routine for yourself. You're not dealing with ingrown hairs because that's just a pain in the butt on top of dealing with other stuff going on down there. Next up, like I said in the beginning, have a gynecologist because you may have BV, which is bacterial vaginitis. I hope I said that right. That is something that is like where your pH levels are unbalanced. You can have creams for it, you can take medicine for it. There's so many different options. A lot of people don't like the medicine route, but that is something similar to like if you have an illness or a disease or something and you need something for that specifically, this may be that situation. It's not always that situation, and there's different levels of severity for it. Sometimes it's extremely severe, or sometimes just like, you know, you just need a cream or something. So make sure to get yourself a gynecologist and start going there regularly, at least once a year. I think the minimum is once a year, getting your checkups, make sure you have no STDs or STIs, because those could also be causing smell, discharge, and things like that. And some of them don't have symptoms that are noticeable or you would be aware of. So that's why going to the gynecologist is very important, because sometimes your smell could be from something completely other than what you're doing, or just something that can also be treated. Next up, I would suggest wearing loose clothing and cotton clothing. Silk clothing is very prone to sweating and it's not really good for down there all the time. So like silk underwear is good for you know, a night or two. On a regular basis, I feel like you should be wearing cotton underwear so that it can breathe. Breathable cotton underwear so you can breathe. She can still do what she gotta do. But it's something I had to start recently changing. The products I use in my bath, we don't realize that we're putting like, oh, this smell good bubble bath, and it's going right on up, right on in there, right on her and everything. So what I've done is started using Honest baby bubble bath, and it's actually for babies. So you know, usually most of the time those are sensitive products, so I've started using that. I know there's probably 100 other brands, and I'll also be linking to my Amazon store everything I talk about in this video under, you know, a title similar to this one, so you guys could go check out those things if you're interested in purchasing any. I also use a splash of apple cider vinegar as well, just to help with my pH levels and sitting in there so it can just do what it gotta do. Next up is making sure when you get out the shower or the bathtub that you're not letting the water sit down there, because especially if you have hair, it can get trapped in there, and then overnight, imagine if you have all that like wetness on you and it's just getting musty, like a wet towel sitting overnight. So definitely make sure you're drying. You may have to let the towel sit there for 2 minutes, do something, brush your teeth, come back to it, make sure it's dry. Sometimes I like to move the towel, move around, and then dry again, to actually hold the towel there for a little minute. So definitely, especially on the crevices of your thighs, not just on the inside of her, on the crevices of your thigh, those can be making smells too, because your thighs sweating together can be a problem. Just like if your body and your arm go together, it creates like a musty smell. So sometimes your thigh and her can rub together and create a musty smell. So for that reasoning, I would say a product that I've started using was Loom. They have different deodorant sticks and creams and body washes. I've just used the cream so far. I definitely want to dabble in their other products. Basically like a deodorant for down there, for your armpits too, but specifically down there because it doesn't have harsh ingredients that will irritate her down there or your thighs or anything. So if you're someone who has thicker thighs or just sweat a lot, I would definitely recommend trying that out. I have it linked to my Amazon store as well. You literally can rub it on her, okay. I like to have this conversation because this is something that I've struggled with understanding as a kid, like the terminology. The vulva is the outside of her and the vagina is the inside. The vagina is the tunnel inside, okay? So this is not something to insert up in the vagina. This is something to go on the outside of your vulva and basically your lips and your creases of your thighs. This cream is. I would not suggest putting things inside unless it's boric acid or a gel, and I'll tell you guys the two things that my gynecologist actually said boric acid isn't bad, but I would definitely tell you to talk to your own doctor before doing these things or buying things off the internet. I would just use, I'm going to put on the screen the boric acid that I would use. I haven't tried it yet, but what I would use. And then she told me the refresher gel is a good gel to use if you just want to reset, especially after your period, because your period can throw off your pH balance as well. Your partners can throw off your balance. Your eating habits can throw off your balance. A lot of things can throw your balance off. So basically, you just want to keep yourself balanced, and that's where so many factors come in with keeping your balance. That's what makes you smell a certain way or smell good one day, smell good not the next. So just know that there's a whole science to this. If you don't know, now you know. So I would say drink lots of water, drink lots of 100% cranberry juice. Not cranberry juice cocktail, that is like sugar, okay? So you don't want that, that's not going to be helpful. And 100% pineapple juice is another option. If you're not someone who likes cranberry juice, I would suggest getting cranberry pills. I would say to use pH balancing feminine washes, and the two that I've used in the past and I've liked is the Monostat boric acid and the Good Clean Love, which was recommended by my gynecologist. Just light sensitive washes. If you're not someone into washes, you can literally just use Dove Sensitive bar soap or any sensitive soap. I would once again do your research on it, make sure it's no perfume, because if you're using perfume down there, if you're using that Smell Good Dove Olay, it's gonna throw it off because it's scented. It smells like perfume, so it's gonna mess with her. She's gonna be like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't like this. And it kind of like just gives you that odor. So if you start using a product and you notice that it starts smelling, stop using that product and see if that could be what's throwing you off as well. So just getting a pro and prebiotic pill, and this is the one that I take on a regular. Also taking chlorophyll. I usually use the drops, but I'm going to eventually use the pill so I can get like a higher dosage. These things help to clear you out and help to keep all the bacteria in your body like working as it should, because you have good and bad bacteria. And sometimes, especially when it comes to BV, your bad bacteria eats up your good bacteria, so that's why you're having like issues down there. Next is something that I like do subconsciously but not on purpose, which is buying new underwear, especially period underwear. I'm gonna try to find the like quote or something. It was like how microorganisms still live on your underwear even after 100 washes. It can still be those bad things that probably are going right back up into you or on you that's making you smell like that. So buying new underwear frequently, I would say like seasonally, so maybe 4 times a year getting new underwear. You can do like every month if you want, but I think seasonally is good because you're not washing it too much, maybe like 2 or 3 months worth of washing, instead of keeping an underwear for years, or just say all year round, when it's leaving things on it that are not helpful to you. I would say to change the pads you use, the tampons you use. I don't use tampons, but this still goes for tampons. I've changed over to these pads and I love them. And also, if you don't use period diapers, I highly suggest getting on the wave, because just do it. That's it. Just do it. If you want to feel comfortable, especially at night, get you some period diapers. These are the ones that I've used and I like them. They're also linked on my Amazon store because that's where I got them from. Period diapers, life changer. Completely life changer. So changing the pads you wear, because in our pads they put a lot of chemicals, chlorine, things that can upset our pH balance that I talked about earlier. Also, it did make a difference for me personally with my cramps. I literally stopped getting half the pain that I used to get when wearing other pads, and I know that because once I changed my pad, that's when I stopped cramping so much. I still cramp, but not nearly as much. So that goes to show that things in the pads are also upsetting her down there, especially on a very sensitive time of the month. Detergent you use, I started using 7th generation. Again, it's the same thing. Like, detergent has a lot of things in it as well to clean our clothes that are also sitting on you. You wash your underwear in those. That's like if you have sensitive skin. If you're someone who deals with like leaking, I know a lot of people who have babies deal with this, but I feel like I personally deal with this because as a kid, I was not using the bathroom regularly. When I was a child, I think I messed up my bladder, I'm not gonna lie. So I definitely suggest using panty liners. I use, once again, these organic ones. They don't have anything on them. They're basically just cotton, so that I'm not putting anything up inside of me while I'm sitting in these. I change them frequently, and I know a lot of people are against them, but it's up to you. If you feel like they're more helpful, or if they're not, then use them or don't use them. I just would say change them regularly and don't wear them at night. And if you can go a day or a few hours while wearing it, then I wouldn't. But I think that can also help with catching discharge, not even just urine, like urine and discharge. Imagine if that sat on your underwear, it can cause a smell. So like a lot of discharge, which is normal because we're women and that's what happens. Try wearing those and changing them frequently to see if you see a difference. I believe I said before, STD and STIs can also cause smells and you don't know that you have one. Some are just undetectable by symptoms. There's no symptoms. Maybe that is a symptom, but you've thought it was something else for so long. So definitely get checked to make sure you don't have those, because those can also be adding to it. Just pee frequently. Don't be like me as a child. I was not going to the bathroom frequently or drinking enough water. So if you do that in combination of drinking cranberry juice, you will start to smell. You can drink cranberry juice for a day, or drink multiple cups of cranberry juice in one day and see if you don't see a difference in your smell and the color of your pee. It does something. It's just, I'll put on the screen what cranberries do, but those are very helpful when it comes to UTIs as well and things like that. So peeing after you do anything sexual, that can be very helpful, so you're not keeping other type of things that are not probably good for you as well, because like I said, your partner could throw you off as well. If he not doing good, if he not eating right, he could definitely throw you off. And I would highly suggest, on a grown woman topic, not to be just, how can I put this? Not to just be allowing things to go in you all the time, because it's very unnecessary for her, because like I said, if he's not right, he is just jacking you up. So if you know, you know. If you're a younger girl, just know when you get older, it don't need to be all the time, okay? That's to be 100% honest with you. Especially if you're having multiple sex partners, even if I wouldn't go that route. But I'm just saying, so especially if it's multiple, like, please no. Please no. No. From your older sister Zelia, no. You can buy a pH test off of Amazon. You do have to get swabs to be able to swab yourself. I didn't know that. I thought it was, I don't know what I thought it was. But you can get pH tests if you're curious on what your pH is, to be able to be like, oh, okay, this may be why I'm, you know, smelling or feeling some type of way, because something is off. It tells you on the box like what is the appropriate pH. The shower, do not purposefully take your washcloth, put Dove and Dove brown sugar, whatever it is, and put it down there. Don't do that. Probably will run down past it, but I would definitely say just wash it off quickly. Do not do that down there. Just use your either Dove sensitive soap, your peppermint Dr. Bronner, something like that, or the feminine washes that I talked about earlier, and that's what you want to use down there. I usually use that last, just to make sure she's clean from all the perfume smells that I may have used. I suggest using feminine wipes. I know feminine wipes as well, just to clean her up when you go to the bathroom. I know a lot of cultures and a lot of people, they use like a peri bottle, or people who have babies also use this, but they use a peri bottle to clean up with water after they go to the bathroom. Like, I highly suggest using wipes in general, but especially having a pH balancer wipe if your smell is something you're dealing with constantly. I know Loom has some. Those are all my tips. This is I like doing this video. I actually had to re-record it. If you didn't know, I was actually very upset about it, but I think I like this version better. I think I got a little more into it. So if you guys like this video, let me know down in the comments, and if it was helpful, please let me know in the comments, because I like doing this type of content because I was younger before and I didn't know anything. I figured it all out. I'm 23 years old. I've just started figuring out a lot within these last couple years. So I understand what it feels like to not know things or be taught things. So this is why I want to do this over here. If there are other topics you want me to get into, let me know in the comments. But this is going to be the end of the video. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I think you should know that, baby, you're the reason. You always think the only one who needs any attention if you don't need